Hello, people. Hello, hello, hello. Systems for clinic. All right. Hello, people. What have we got here? Let's have a look. Make sure that we've got everything on. Hi, peeps. I might just run and pop my... Oh, there we go. We're on. All right, do I have somebody here? Oh, Louise, it's nice to see you. Who else do we have? Hey, Tara. I've got a few people. Nice to see you all. Hey, Carly. I'm going to pop another light on behind me. You can see my Christmas tree still on. Oh. Nope, light's not working. All right. So, today... Hey, Nick. Nice to see you. Today, I thought we would start our beautiful year with a little pep talk, because I love a good pep talk, and also with something a little bit practical. So what we've been looking at when it comes to the beginning of the year. So if you haven't, this is our first webinar of the year. If you haven't seen me in the lives this year yet, hi, Happy New Year. If you are interested, I'm generally here on Mindset Monday to give you a little pep talk, and usually here on Training Thursday as well. So Training Thursday, you can also sign up for these webinars so they come into your inbox. I'll pop the link below and make sure that you don't miss out on any, because they've usually got some pretty good content that will definitely, if you apply it and take action on it, move you forward. So the beginning of the year is an awesome time to kind of have a little bit of a reset. Make sure that we've cleared a nice, beautiful pathway so that 2018 can come through you. And to do that, we might, set some intentions. The full moon was yesterday or the day before, and it's a great time to set an intention as well. And I've been setting intentions for words. You might have seen that on Tuesday Tips this week. My words for this year, hey Moira, my words for this year I've got over here. Don't mind me, I'm wandering around at the moment. I've got my new computer and it's all very exciting. Yeah, so this is a beautiful picture of some amazing women that are in the club, and this was our end of the club retreat that we go on. And on the flip side of that, I've put my words. So my words for the year, and they beautifully appear backwards because Facebook is just good at that stuff. So my words for this year are ease, grace, sovereign, which is this new yummy word that I just found out and I've been doing a lot of research on, to embody, magic, and acceptance. And I bizarrely downloaded a book middle of the year last year, and I haven't read it yet. And I refound it on my phone the other day, all about radical acceptance. So I'm inviting you guys to consider setting up an intention for some words that give you a feeling for the year. And one of the biggest ones that I noticed in our little feed for Tuesday was ease. Who else has the word ease or simplicity or grace or enoughness in their words? I happen to see quite a few. Yes, Nick, you're in that picture. Hey, Kirsten. So, yeah. What are your words? And if they have ease in them, if they have a sense of flow or grace or things to come easily, work smarter, not harder, that kind of thing, then I've got some tips for you today. Simplicity is another one that has been going around, and it's a really powerful one as well, simplicity. And keeping things simple makes it really easy for you as a practitioner and a business owner to have a simplified system, and then it makes it really easy for your clients or potential clients to work with you. The more simple it gets. So, Carly, you've got your hand up. Ease is for me. Yes. So, when it comes to ease, some of the easiest things to do are making sure that you are working in your zone of genius, and that other things, systems or processes or people, are doing the things outside your zone of genius. Now, a zone of genius is a concept that comes from Gay Hendricks' book, The Big Leap. If you haven't read it yet, it's like required reading for the club. It's inspirational, it is insightful, and it's a really cool thing for any business owner or anyone who is going after or achieving anything that they are looking forward to. It's amazing. And this is only one of the small concepts that are in it, but he talks about a zone of genius. So you have this zone of genius, zone of excellence, zone of good, and then a little bit of a meh, right? And other people will look at us and see, my goodness, you're amazing at that thing. And that's that kind of zone of excellence. Other people see it and you kind of do it. You don't enjoy it necessarily. It might not be, the best, most exciting thing, but you can do it really well. Zone of good is the things that take ages for you to do, but you can do them, but you don't really like doing them. They take ages. And then, so that's good, amazing, or excellence. And then there's the zone of genius. The zone of genius is the bit where time disappears when you're doing it. There is a sense of flow and ease, enough that you might not even notice that that is your zone of genius because it just comes so naturally to you. Love a teenager at home, don't you? All right. So zone of genius is this area that you might not even know that you're good at, but it might be that somebody else points it out for you, and that's when you start to notice. So, hey, Bernadette, nice to see you. So in your zone of genius, these things come so easily, and often for practitioners, it's when they're one-on-one with their clients, right? It's when you are in that moment where they're just about to get their aha. You're in that moment where you're learning just as much as they're learning. You're in that moment that they feel a release. Maybe you're a massage therapist and they feel a release. That time just disappears, and then all of a sudden the hour's gone and you're like, oh, where did that go? For some people, it might be the energy part of that. For others, it might be the communication part of that. And for some of you guys, we've done a little bit of research into your backgrounds. You guys who have had a background in accounting or bookkeeping or finance, and then you've come to being a health practitioner, you guys are usually really easy with numbers. Like my zone of good is I can open a spreadsheet, feel freaked out about it, and it takes me ages to do it, but I can do numbers on spreadsheets. For those who have a background in it, you look at it, and it might be your zone of excellence. You look at it and you're like, yeah, totally, done, whatever. It's not your favorite thing to do, but it might be just done. And then there's that zone of genius, how you can get that connection, how you can get that feedback loop going. And that zone of genius is where you are at your best. It might be for you a particular modality. It might be a particular way of communicating. It might be a particular healing that you can do. That zone of genius is very special to you. Now, stuff outside of that still needs to get done in your business, right? That stuff. So ease is the zone of genius. True ease and flow is that zone of genius. The bit outside of that is, oh yeah, that's right, I've still got to take money. Oh yeah, that's right, I've still got to market to people. Oh yeah, that's right, I've still got to find new clients. I've got to serve my old clients. I've got to connect with other referral partners. Oh yeah, that's right, I've got to do that tech stuff like on the website. And then there's the newsletter thing that I'm supposed to do. And then see what I mean? The ease gets really easy in this yummy bit in the middle, but the ease kind of starts to get a bit tensioned on the outside here. So I'm just going to let you guys know about some systems that might be able to help there. All right. So systems. I've tried so many different types of systems in clinical practice, and I'm a little bit of a systems addict because it saves so much time and money. In the long run, in the initial setup of it, it feels a bit clunky, but in the long run, oh my goodness, it's so amazing to have a system in place, because it then allows my husband, who's just about to go, one of his favorite terms is structure enables flexibility. So when you've got the structure or the system in place, you're then able to dance in the middle of it. If you're just dancing, it doesn't quite give the progress that you might want to work towards. So I thought we'd just open up the conversation today. So we've got another 20 minutes, and I've got you guys on the chat feed, and I just wanted to open up the conversation because I've got so many systems that I've tried. Like from day dot, I put systems in place, and most of the systems I'm used to using are either free or cheap, and they are online systems. I meld tech in with a lot of my work so that it can be done easily, cheaply. It can be outsourced. I can access it wherever I am around the globe, because running retreats or flying helicopters kind of means that I need to do most of my stuff on my phone. So they're the types of systems that I love to work with. Most of the systems I've gone through because some things don't necessarily integrate with other things. So integration means one talks to the other, and you don't have to put the same details in here and put the same details in here yet again. So if you've got one talking to the other and you only have to put the details in once, then it cuts down on your time, your energy, and that time and energy, we don't think about it like this at the beginning, but your time and your energy is worth a certain value. So your time and your energy is limited. We only all have 24 hours in a day. And with that 24 hours, there's 8 hours of that on your working days where you can actually see clients and you can get paid for your job. If that's the way that most practitioners run their businesses that way. And so for that time, hopefully you're within the $100 to $200 an hour or more, but minimum $100 an hour. So your time is worth $100 an hour. So if you are stuffing around in Techville, or you are stuffing around putting data entry in, and then you're putting it in again in some other system, or you're putting it again in some other thing, that hour that you've stuffed around, essentially, that's $100 worth of your time. So paying somebody to do that for $20 is actually a really good thing when you have the cash flow to be able to do that. Because in that same amount of time, you could be doing things to create, either to connect with new clients, reinvigorate old clients, or connect with other referral partners to get a flow of clients in. And that is worth $100 an hour, because you could actually be seeing somebody for that hour for $100 as well. So we've really got to value our time. And by valuing your time, you then notice the things that can actually cut down on your time. So systems is one of the big things that works with that. So Carly loves systems. I've seen you bringing in all sorts of systems, Carly. What are your favorite ones? Moira, I have a bit of a systems phobia. Totally. We all have phobias until we have exposure, and then a little bit more exposure, and a little bit more exposure, and then we go, oh, actually, this is quite exciting. Just the same as we do with snakes, maybe. Oh, I love snakes. So a bit of a stretch, but let's go with it. Hey, Carly, nice to see you. So some of the systems that the systems, one of the types of systems that I'm a massive proponent for is booking systems. Booking systems, oh boy, and I have been through a lot of booking systems. Booking systems are gold. Now, they're gold for a multitude of reasons. The first one is you don't have to be there to have somebody book in with you. You don't have to be there. That's it. That in and of itself, you know, if you are spending 20 minutes on the phone like I used to, talking to a new client, convincing myself that they had to connect with me so that they could be my client, which isn't really true. And that 20 minutes replicate that, you're actually talking about $30 worth of your time talking to somebody who's going to come and see you anyway. So why not set up a system so that they come in? Second to that, your booking system is like having a receptionist. So you could pay a receptionist $30 an hour to do your reception duties for you, or you could have a booking system that does it for like $0 per month. Up to, at the moment, I think I pay $15 per month for my booking system because it asks questions. It pre-checks people and asks them questions or sends them questionnaires for me, so I don't have to do any of that. I just get an email saying, ooh, this person's really interested, and these are the answers to the questions, and this is their contact details if you need them. Otherwise, you'll see them on the X time and X date. Now, third reason, so one, it saves you time. Two, it saves you money because a receptionist would have to do it. And three, this is a little bit of a dodgy one, but goodness me, I was so grateful for my booking system when I got audited by a health fund. So auditing by a health fund happens, they've got an idea that it happens once in every 7 years, because they're trying to keep up with a certain amount of quota for it. And when you get audited, what they ask you insane amounts of information about a certain amount of clients. And I got asked about 10 clients. I had to give the information of when they came, what the treatment protocol was when they came, any notes I had on them when they came, each different visit, each FPOS receipt or HiCAPS receipt for that visit, as well as the invoice for that visit, as well as any product that was purchased on that visit. And I had to, what was the other thing? There was like 9 different things. So for each person, every visit, so I had one of those was a family. So it was the mum, the dad, and the 2 kids. And I had to provide all of that information. And I had 12 days they gave me to provide all that information. Now, if I was doing it the old school way that I originally started, writing it down in a diary and giving them paper receipts, there is no way I could have found that information. But because I had a booking system and then a client management system on top of that, I literally just ran a report, and then I was able to give them all of the printouts of all the information, all of the treatment protocols, all of the notes, all of that stuff. And then I had to, from that data, go into my paper files and find all of the receipts, as well as the FPOS receipts and HiCAPS receipts. Now that in itself took 2 days, and bless my beautiful, now extraordinary naturopath herself, Belinda, helping me get that sorted, because it was completely nuts. But if I had to go, it was bad enough going through the receipts, but I can't imagine what it would be like to go through the paper stuff to find all of that information. So I implore you to get some type of either booking system or client management system. So Carly's favorite online bookings, awesome. Streamlined consults, receptionist who does all product ordering, yeah. Next level after booking system is receptionist. I don't know how what I would have done without my beautiful receptionists. Product ordering, systems, Excel spreadsheets. Ooh. And the Excel spreadsheets, but yeah, they are amazing. So getting back to booking systems, biggest one, top 3 at the moment with my mentees, one would be HealthKit. HealthKit is free. It takes a little bit of getting used to on the front end, but once you've got used to it on the front end, it has other powerful kind of modules that you can attach to it, or you can pay for. So it goes from $0 a month, then you get $5 a month, then you get $10 a month, and it just opens other little avenues for you. It can be integrated. Remember, I was talking at the beginning, the system can integrate with another system. So it can integrate with Facebook, so that you have a book now on your Facebook. It can also integrate with your website, so you can have a website page that gives you the bookings. And it also has ways of integrating with a payment system as well. So HealthKit is awesome for that. And therefore you can take payments for people online, or a 50% deposit, that kind of stuff. So that's available on HealthKit, and it's free. So if you are just starting out and you're a newbie grad, HealthKit's the way to go. Number 2 is Clinico, tried and true. So it has all sorts of wonderfulness to it. I actually don't know how much it costs per month now. They are consistently putting in efforts to try and get it better and better. I have a little bit of a funny thing about it not giving questionnaires on the front end. So when people book in, you have to give them a PDF questionnaire. They don't just fill out the questionnaire and it moves into their file. I don't like that. It's one of my pet peeves, that if somebody's already willing to book in with you and they can give you their details there and then, that it should automatically go to their file. Because double handling, it wastes time and energy and money for you to have to put that data in yourself. So, but apart from that, it hooks in with your MailChimp. If MailChimp is your newsletter system, it hooks in with Infusionsoft if you use that, which is a bigger one. It hooks in with payment systems. It hooks in with so it does Stripe and Xero, so your accounting and bookkeeping system, it hooks in with that. It also gives you a booking page that you can integrate with Facebook, or a booking page that you can integrate with your website. So yes, Carly mentioned it is $49 a month for one practice. If you've got a multiple modality practice and you've got multiple practitioners, it will cost extra per practitioner. So Clinico. Next one that's very similar to Clinico is Simple Clinic. It's simpleclinic.net. Don't go looking for .com. So Simple Clinic, it is it's kind of the next up and comer with Clinico, and it's got ongoing integrations with it too. It's a little bit cheaper than Clinico, and so that one's really good. And then the bigger ones, if you want to run workshops, if you want to run things that are ongoing, memberships, that kind of thing, then you might need something that's a little bit different to Clinico, and things like Mind Body Online, or other things. If you want to integrate it with giving online content or e-courses or things like that, you might want to consider having other programs for that as well. The most basic ones are Acuity, Calendly, and Time Trade. Or Timely, Acuity, Calendly, Time Trade, or Timely. If you don't want the whole big shebang, they're free, they're easy, they're very quick to set up, and they've also got different levels if you wanted to upgrade. So I can't push booking systems enough. Next, after you've had your booking, then people come in. So having a system for what happens then, as weird as it sounds, we get taught systems in college. So, but they don't talk about it that way. You know, there's a way of running a consult. There's a way of doing an intake form, an initial client intake form. So the system that you have to bring somebody in, once you've written it down, you start to notice that there is things that you do automatically. And the cool thing about systems is once you've written these things down, they become your standard operating procedures, or SOPs. Big companies and organizations, and you guys, if you've had a background in bigger organizations, it's very likely that you're used to SOPs. I sure was in the laboratory sector and hospital sector. So all you need to do for doing this is, from woe to go, from the second you open the door at your clinic, if you were to write down everything that you do in that particular day, and then you were to write down after you've completed a consult, the things that are similar with the way in which you practice, then the system starts to appear. And then you start to be able to tweak the system. But if you're not aware of the system in the first place, you don't know what could be better for it or what you might be missing. So there is a great, I wonder if I have that on my website. There's a great 20-minute increment graph that I have, spreadsheet that I have that allows people to actually take into account what's actually happening during the day and then turn it into a system. So seeing clients is one of those systems. So once you've got the system of which you see your clients, so seeing, bringing them in, asking them what's going on for them currently, going through their intake form, making sure you're pointing out what's happening for their body, giving them a teaching point about what's happening for their body, how it's affecting them now, how it could potentially affect them in the future if they do nothing about it, and then coming back to describing and educating people around what you are prescribing. So describing the prescription is an amazing way of being able to chunk down your consults. So after the consult, then there's another layer there that happens with systems, and that's payments. So payment systems are another interesting thing. 3 online payment systems, if you're expanding online or you're selling ebooks or e-courses, 3 of the major online systems are, number 1, PayPal. PayPal is the quickest to set up, easiest to set up once you've done it. You do need a business one, so you've got to have an ABN for it. You've got to prove that ABN, that kind of stuff. But once you've got PayPal, you're then able to set up a button for anything. The little disadvantage of having PayPal is any time that you get a big influx of money, they actually kind of put points against you. So PayPal can take a hold of your money, and essentially what they're doing is just grabbing interest on it while it's there. But what they're telling you is that they're checking for fraudulent activity. Now, it's happened to me, and it's happened to many of my entrepreneurial friends, Denise, DT, some of my friends that I speak to that run major online e-courses. And having $16,000 worth of funds frozen for a month and then frozen for another 6 weeks, and they just don't tell you about it, that's not ideal. But if you're only doing a couple of ebooks and that kind of thing, it might be the quickest way of being able to get paid. Maybe if you want to set up a quick workshop that you're running in a couple of weeks, the easiest way to get paid as you go along is by putting a PayPal button up. So PayPal is one of the great online system. But be careful if you're going to get a big influx of money. 2 is Stripe. Stripe is awesome. I love it. I'm a massive convert because Stripe integrates really well with some of our booking systems. It integrates really well with some of the online e-course systems. It integrates really well with MailChimp or Infusionsoft. And it also integrates beautifully with our accounting and bookkeeping system, Xero. So PayPal, Stripe. The next one is there's eWay or Easy Debit. eWay is one that a lot of web developers love to use, and Easy Debit is one that I love to use in clinic, although I can see how Stripe can get used for that now as well. So Easy Debit allows people to pay an ongoing fee, a membership. So say, for instance, you create a program, let's say an adrenal fatigue program that goes for 12 weeks or a detox program that goes for 6 weeks. And instead of them having to pay $1,000 up front, they instead have to pay $250 4 times. These types of systems look after that, and then they chase your client for that money as well. So they do take a percentage of that income, but they are really great so that when you're freaking out about knowing that the best thing for a client is a particular package, or knowing that it's a particular journey you want to take them on, it's probably going to cost them a bit of money, then breaking it up into 4 easy payments actually can be really, can make things really so much easier for them to take their health into their own hands. So that's Easy Debit. eWay does it and Stripe does it as well. It's just you might need a little bit of help setting that up. All right, so they're payment gateways. Other than that, if you don't have an FPOS machine, FPOS is phasing out because of the high cap situation, but there are other attachments that you can put onto your phone if you don't want to pay the $29 a month that it costs for those other things. So Square is one of them. You can buy a Square little dongle. You can, ANZ also has one for your phone. Who's the other one? Oh, and PayPal has one that you can buy at Officeworks. So these allow you to take credit card payments straight away. So they can be another interesting system that you can play with instead of trying to get somebody to go to the ATM down the road and them having to go in the rain and not making their experience a good one with you in your clinic. So there's those. Has anybody else got any other payment systems that they want to pop in the little list there that they have used that they like? Please feel free to add to the conversation there. All right. After you've been paid, you then have to put it into a bookkeeping system. Now, bookkeeping system generally starts as an Excel spreadsheet. The ATO, the Australian Taxation Organisation, Australian Taxation Office, they have a spreadsheet that you can download. And that spreadsheet allows you to pop in all of your expenses and all of your, money going out, money coming in, and then balancing it out for you. You can set that up for yourself, or you can get a bookkeeper to set that up in an Excel spreadsheet. But you then have to make the commitment to be scheduling time to be able to get in there and put those details in as well, and keeping track of that information and keeping it up to date. So that costs you money to sit down and do that. It actually, albeit you don't hand over the cash, it's costing you the time that it takes to do that you could be essentially be making that money for. So when it comes to Excel spreadsheets, they're great to start. But if you are in your second or third year using one of those and your business is growing a little bit, then I'd highly suggest that it's time to move on to a bigger system. Some of those systems include the Wave app. So Wave app is free. We all like something that's free. It doesn't integrate quite as well with some other things as something as big as Xero, but it's a stepping stone. It's like the next step after you've been doing your own books. So Wave app, really cool. You're able to access it via phone. You can track different things on your phone. You can put an invoice through. You know, if you got to the end of a consult, somebody emails you and says, I lost my invoice, I want to go and take it to the health fund. You can do it from your phone. It doesn't matter where you are. So you should, I think that's genius. Lindsay says HealthKit also allows you to take payments, which is super cool. And HealthKit also integrates with a couple of different bookkeeping apps as well. So does Clinico. Because you don't want to put the information in twice. So if you've got Clinico and you're putting in all the details on the Clinico system and it's not transferring over to your bookkeeping system, and then you've got to put it all in again, it's an absolute waste of time and money. So Xero integrates really well. So Xero, I'm a massive Xero fan. Some other guys, especially you guys who have a background in finance, you might like MYOB. It's now gone into the cloud, which is pretty cool. And QuickBooks is another one that's gone into the cloud, but I'm a massive Xero convert. It's like they've got a vibe, they've got a way of talking on their website. I'm a sucker for good marketing, and Xero is fantastic. I've never had a problem with it. And when I have, I speak to my bookkeeper. She tweaks it all because she's connected with the Xero team. So it works really well. I get to access it via my phone. And it integrates with everything. So any of my systems, so it automatically takes my bank feeds, any of the feeds for my business, my PayPal and my Stripe, that's all integrated there. So I don't have to go finding all that information. It just already gets fed into the bookkeeping system. I don't have to go and plug that in. It just automatically goes in there. So it's so yummy. I love it. All right. So after you have all of that wonderful money coming in and you're tracking that money, there are then other systems that you might want to create new products with. So when it comes to online products, some of the systems that I use to create my online products or have used in the past, let's see. So after that money comes in, then you're going to kind of redistribute it, right? You're going to go, okay, I've got this extra money, right? I could go and buy another couch from Kmart to make people feel better, or, which won't get me any money back, or I could make a piece of information or content for them so that they can have that whenever they need it to lose weight, to balance their hormones out, to cleanse or detox in a way that isn't a MLM style, all of those things, right? You've got plenty of knowledge in your head and you can take it and turn it into an e-course. So to turn things into an e-course, I've used a multitude of different things. Number one is MailChimp. MailChimp is the easiest way to get an e-course out, and now they even have a button to just essentially plug and play. So it's called the Education Series. So when you're in MailChimp, I'm pretty sure we've already got a training Thursday on MailChimp in here in the hub. We definitely have one in the club. So what you do is you sign up to MailChimp. It's a free way of contacting all of the people on your newsletter list and people who are potentially going to buy from you in the future. If you don't have a way of connecting with people or you're just using your Gmail account, it's time to upgrade and you've got to go open up to having something like MailChimp. That's how I started. I then moved to another system called ConvertKit, which is awesome and integrates with so many other things. And ConvertKit has less emails that go to people's spam, whereas MailChimp goes to a lot of people's spam and it doesn't get found. Like your content, your newsletters might go to people's spam boxes, and that's not ideal. Whereas ConvertKit gets through to people, and it's really pretty, it's really easy, but it does cost, say, depends on how many people are on your list, but it might cost $5 to $10 a month. But what is that worth to be able to get it through to your peeps? So, and then I went to Infusionsoft because it now integrates with pretty much everything else that I needed to integrate it with for our success series, our workshops, our other bits and pieces. So we've up-leveled again. But MailChimp is the way to start. So Kelly says MailChimp, she's using it right now to write her newsletter. Yes, gold, way to start the year. I haven't quite gotten around to writing my newsletter yet for the beginning of the year, and it's so easy to use. Yeah, so there's a button to create a campaign. There is a search button in there, and all you have to do is write education series, and you can create an e-course that you send out to people. So you could send out a free e-course to start the year, your 4 biggest tips to do something or other. The new year, new you, here's my little mini e-course. And you can essentially do a video, or you can type a little fact sheet for each of them, and it then automatically sends them out 2 days in between. 2 days, 2 days, 2 days, or 5 days, or whatever you choose it to be. So it's a really cool way of getting an e-course out if you've never got it out before. So most basic way of putting an e-course out is get on your website or get on your Facebook page, put a PayPal button on there, get someone to pay for it, and as soon as that email comes through that somebody paid for it, you pop them on that education series list in MailChimp, and as soon as they have paid for it, that education automation goes out to them and they get their course. So beautiful and yummy. I love it. So that's the easiest way. That's the cheapest and freest way of doing it if you've never done it before. Next level is instead of it coming out via an email, you can then also have a platform for where your e-course lives. So then you're sending them to a payment page, and then they might get automatically sent to your course page. For a course, there's 2 different ways of doing it. Well, there's 3. One is the emails. 2 is having a third-party platform. Third-party platforms are somebody else has this special website that your e-course lives on, and people can buy it from that website and they can access it from that website. Teachable is going gangbusters. It's about to explode. Well, it's kind of exploded already, but Teachable is essentially a platform just for e-courses. And the cool thing about it is when you log in for your first course that you buy, it doesn't matter who you've bought the course off. All of your courses appear. So you don't need your password and your everything for, say, the Nat Club, and you don't need your password for, say, your other marketing thing that you bought, or your other Health Masters Live, or your other this or that. It's all in one space. Teachable allows the people who are on it and selling their courses on that platform, allows them to have it in that one space. So Teachable does cost a certain amount per month again, but if you have a minimum amount of people in there and you just keep yourself aware of, okay, if I've got those 3 people in there, then I've paid for it, or whatever it happens to be. So Teachable's one of those platforms. There's also Udemy and Teachery, and there's a couple, but Teachable is the big one at the moment. They've also got some really great videos if you want to go and check those out to create your own e-course. It's super easy, super simple. And it's really worth checking out if an e-course is on your horizon for 2018. Okay, and then there's the third type of way of getting your e-course and system out to get your e-course, and that is having your own platform on your own website. And you'll see it on my website. If you go to tammyguest.com and you go to courses, then you'll be able to see that I've got a multitude of courses on my site as well. And that's from a plugin. Now, a plugin lives on your website or is attached to your website address, your URL. And it is most easy, each different platform, so WordPress, Wix, Squarespace, they've all got different ways of popping these things on your website, and they're becoming better and better at it. WordPress, in my opinion, is the best at it because you can find it via SEO. So WordPress can be found quite easily because Google and WordPress talk to one another really nicely, whereas Google and Wix kind of go, no, I don't like you, and then they disappear you into the ether, and Google tries to give your potential clients the answer of where to find you, but they hide the Wix bit. So and Squarespace is starting to get new ways of putting on little e-courses and things like that, and trying to get them to integrate better with things like MailChimp and your booking systems and stuff. So to pop your own course on your website, you'll very likely need a developer or a tech person to do it. It's that next level, but you then have access for anybody who's there, and the whole system works by you not having to do anything. You don't have to answer that email and then pop it in and then get them to the sequence that'll work. It looks after that for you, and it doesn't matter if it's midnight, the whole system works by itself. So my first foray into that was Zippy Courses, which is actually done by a guy called Derek Halpin of Social Triggers, and he's a fantastic online marketer, bit of a New Yorker, very masculine, but really good, really cool, easy way of doing things. It's only $197 for the year, which is one of the cheaper ways of doing it. And you can pretty much do the whole thing by yourself. You just follow the video instructions. I set my original e-course up in one night after my kids went to bed. So before midnight. It took me less than 4 hours to do it. So it's really cool. Next one that I've seen used is Optimize Press or Optimize Member. And they definitely, in my opinion, need a developer to do it. It befuddles me. My brain goes a bit funny with those. And I'm pretty persistent with my tech. So then my final one that I've settled on now, and I love it because it's really pretty, because I'm embracing the feminine and I'm embracing the grace. What are my other words? The magic. It is Access Ally. So Access Ally comes from Natalie Letizia, who has an amazing 30-day social media challenge. If you haven't heard of her, she's amazing. So she's got a series of different software that her and her husband have created, and Access Ally is one of them. Again, it's a monthly fee, but I think about those monthly fees as like rent. It's like my online rent. So it's one thing to have your rent in your clinic, but it's another thing to have rent your online space. So they're the online course kind of ways of getting that out. Other systems. Who needs another system that they might want some information on? I have about 10 more minutes left. I've gone completely over time, so hopefully if you want to see this, you can watch it as a replay. But who has another question about systems that I'm going to throw out there? Whatever you need answered. So Carly, yes, you do really need to get your SIBO e-course done. You've got all the content, lovely. You've got an amazing book. But in all honesty, I don't read books. I would much rather, listen to the book. So essentially you could just chunk it down and read it into a video, if that's what you wanted to do, or read it into an audio. And then we would love to hear that. I would just love to download that and listen to it in the car or on my way to something else. But having a book, it's not my thing. And you can, for the ease and the value that you have in that amazing book, my goodness, just make it easier for us to listen to it or watch it or have actionable steps. So yes, Carly, you do need to do that. Teachable might be a way for you to do that, and having it as on your own site, because I happen to know you've got a great shop on your site as well. It might be another one. So yeah. Any other systems questions, people? Or questions about e-courses or one of your goals for this year and how I'm happy to do a little Q&A. Are you all alive and kicking in there? I can see 12 of you are here, but you're all hiding and being quiet. Systems. Nobody has any other questions about systems? Oh, Carly, systems for a receptionist and product pickups. Oh, what system works? Oh, I have a story for you. So the first clinic I ever worked at, we were shut on certain days of the week. And and on those days of the week, we had an esky out the front. Like, that we had an esky out the front and total trust that people would put the exact amount of cash and swap out their brown bag that had their name on it and the money into the esky, and that it would be okay there for the next 48 hours, and then we would come back to work and take the money out. So I would highly suggest that is not the way to go. I really think that having a better system other than that is the way to go. And the best system to do that is to have a person there. Now, having a receptionist takes that away. You are open from 9 to 5, Monday to Friday, which is what most people expect. And that person, you could have a receptionist, one that costs you $25 an hour, from say 9 till 2. And then the 2 to 5 o'clock type of time, you could have, 3 to 5 o'clock type of time, you could have a junior, somebody who is from a fresh newbie, new grad. You might have a local high school student, that kind of thing, because essentially all they're doing is retail for you, retail and bookings, because that can all be done online. So you don't need somebody with lots and lots of experience just doing that little shift in the afternoon. So having a person there will change it. The systems for a receptionist, they come from that SOP. So when you write down from the moment you get into the clinic what you're actually doing, and I know it feels like it takes ages, and I know it feels like it takes time, and it does in that day, or it does in those 2 days that you're actually writing all of that down. After that, though, you don't have to ever do that again. It's written down. You get the receptionist to type it all out, chunk it down into, okay, this is the opening sequence. This is how you turn the telephone on. This is how you do your FPOS, that kind of stuff. That all comes in there. Once those systems are done, then you can check it and go, oh, this bit's missing. Oh, this bit's missing. But then it's then a standard operating procedure. Then your receptionist knows exactly what's expected of them. And if they happen to leave or they happen to have to hand it over to somebody else, it's really obvious. If you want to take that to the next level, I use a program called useloom.com. Use, SUELOOM.com. If you want to record, just like I'm on the screen in front of you right now, if you want to record something quickly and show your desktop how your receptionist can do booking system, how they can do the newsletter, how best to send an email, how they need to do the product ordering, how they need to do processing, any of that kind of stuff, you can record that on a Use Loom video. So instead of them having to type it all out and having to read it, you can actually have a video of, okay, in this video I'm going to describe how we how we upload a blog post, and then you do it, and then you record it, and then it's set in your videos, and they have access to that, and they can follow that through any point in time. It's one of the things I use to talk to my VAs if I need any updates on my website, updates on social media, other bits and pieces, or tweaks to different things. If I'm working with a graphic designer, then I'm able to just wander around the screen and record it instead of having to type away and try and do that kind of stuff. So it's a really good one. And then you can have essentially videos instead of a SOP that is written. You have an audio visual SOP. So hopefully that's useful, Carly. Cool. All right, Kelly. So maybe I should turn my book into an e-course instead of trying to sell it. Yes. Or do both. Do both. Everyone learns differently, and the more opportunities people have to consume information in the way that's right for them, the more likely they are to buy. Carly, how can I communicate to her when I have authorized repeats to clients? Do a quick video, email it to her while you're in your consult, whatever it happens to be. We also use Asana, Basecamp, or Google Keep as places to share notes with one another. And essentially what my receptionist used to have is open on her screen was our emails, our Asana, or our project management system, which at the time we were using Basecamp, or Google Keep, which is essentially just note sections and to-do lists in different subjects, and it's free. So she had that open. She had our WordPress website open. She would have our booking system open, and she would have our MailChimp open for newsletters. That was about it. But that was a standard operating procedure. In the morning, she had to open all of those, and we had ongoing communication because I had my computer in my room. She had her computer out in the reception area, and we had ongoing communication through Google Keep throughout the day. If I was back to back with clients, she would send me updates on what she was doing through the newsletter. She would send me updates or screenshots of what was happening on the website if we were uploading different bits and pieces. And she would have access, and I would have access to we use Gmail as a system to hook in both the info at and our personal emails. So she would have access to info at, and I would have access to both, and she would just answer the info at stuff. So hopefully that's helpful as well. Cool. Tanya. Hi, Tammy. I need a system more for customer info and treatment records. I don't really need appointments, etc. like health. Is HealthKit a good start? Yes. HealthKit's a really good start. So is Simple Clinic. Go and check out simpleclinic.net. It's a really good one too. Other things that I have used for that, all sorts of things. So we use MindBody Online, but it's a behemoth of a program, so I wouldn't necessarily suggest that. And tracking things via email is a possibility as well. But yeah, I would start with something like HealthKit because the security on HealthKit is excellent. Kelly, got you thinking? Awesome. Alison, hey, you got to go back and watch all of this. There might be a piece of gold in here for you. I have just been talking like vomiting out systems. Like Kirsten said, it's a little overwhelming, vomiting out systems for the last hour. And if anyone had given me this information, like I went to this day-long thing by, what's his name? Dale Beaumont, who has the business blueprint. And his freebie day-long thing is just a big masculine selling, vomiting all over you information kind of day, in my personal opinion. And a little sideline to what he was saying was, and I just started with time trade and now people book in with me like that. But the rest of the information was just this sell, like masculine. And I'm sure that works for a lot of people. It just wasn't my jam. But that little tiny gold nugget of time trade changed my world. It was my first foray into booking systems, and it totally changed my world and opened me up to the idea that I could have a receptionist and that my time was valuable. So definitely go and check out any of these systems and then take action on it. Now, the thing is, when I heard that information about time trade, I could have gone, oh, gee, that's a nice idea. But what I did was the second I got home, I got onto my computer, signed up for the free 1 month trial, and I actually tried it. And so if any of these things spike your interest, go and sign up. Find out if it's useful for you, because it might literally change the way that you're doing things. Thanks, Joe. You can't think of any questions because you're still in holiday mode. I bet so many people are. I am super excited for everybody who are still in holiday mode. I'm just about to clock off for the day as well and go and hang with my little peeps. It doesn't look like beach weather today here, but we're going to go and hang out anyway, build some things, do some craft, cook some dinner. So I totally get it, Joe. And well done for anybody who's shown up, even just to get a little taster of information while you are on your holidays. And start the year off the way that you want to see the rest of the year go, committing to your business, committing to getting personal growth as well as business growth. And I wish you all an epic year in alignment with your zone of genius, with ease and grace for all of you. And I will check you on the next webinar next Thursday. Otherwise, I'll see you on Mindset Monday for my little live on Monday. All right. Have an amazing day, everybody. And pop in below if you have any other systems that you use that you think might be beneficial for others. And we will catch you later. All right. Bye.